There's a couple, Dana and Mark. They've been together 11 years. They don't fight. Not about money, not about much of anything, really. Their friends actually envy them for it. You two never argue, people say, almost like it's a compliment. And Dana used to smile and agree. Except last spring, Mark opened a joint statement he wasn't supposed to see. A mistake, an old login still saved on a shared laptop, and found out Dana had been quietly moving money into a separate account for almost 2 years. Not a huge amount, not an affair, not gambling, nothing dramatic, just hiding. Slowly, carefully, hiding. And here's the part that wrecked him more than the money itself. Dana wasn't sorry she did it. She was sorry she got caught. Honestly, if that story made your stomach drop a little, even just a flicker, stay with me. Because I don't think this is really a story about money. I think it's a story about safety. And I think a lot of you watching this right now are living some version of it, on one side or the other. I've spent years now sitting with couples and reading through the wreckage of the ones who didn't make it, trying to find the exact point where financial pressure stops being about money and starts becoming about power and control, and whether you actually trust the person lying next to you at night. And what I've learned is this: the loudest couples, the ones who scream about spreadsheets and receipts, are often in better shape than the quiet ones, because at least they're still fighting for something. It's the silence that should worry you. If you're new here, this channel is basically the place where love and money finally get talked about, honestly. No shame, no lecturing, just the truth about what's actually happening underneath your bank app. So if that sounds like something you need, hit subscribe, because I promise you'll want the rest of what's coming. Because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what "we never fight about money" actually means in a huge number of relationships. And it's not peace, it's often the opposite. And I'm going to show you the 3 quiet signs that reveal what a couple is really hiding, even when everything on the surface looks calm. Ready? Peace isn't the same as alignment. Here's something nobody tells you when you move in with someone or get married. Silence is not a currency of trust. It's often a currency of exhaustion. Think about James and Priya. Married 6 years, 2 kids. Genuinely good marriage by most measures. James told me once, almost proudly, "We just don't really talk about money. She handles it. I don't ask. It works. And on paper, sure, no arguments, no tension, smooth sailing." But when I asked Priya about it separately, the picture looked completely different. She said she'd stopped bringing up money 3 years earlier because every time she did, James got quiet and distant for days. So she learned the fastest way to keep peace in the house was to just stop bringing it up, handle it alone, absorb the stress alone. That's not alignment. That's one person quietly carrying a weight the other one doesn't even know exists. And here's why this matters to you specifically. Right now, whether you're the one who's gone quiet or the one who's been left out of the loop, unspoken tension doesn't disappear just because nobody's naming it. It just goes underground. It shows up later as distance in bed, or snapping over something small, or one of you feeling strangely alone inside a relationship that looks fine from the outside. So here's something to actually try tonight. Not communicate more that's meaningless. Ask your partner this exact sentence: "If money stopped being scary to talk about, what's one thing you'd want me to know?" That's it. Just that. Watch what happens to their face before they even answer. I'll be honest, the first time I asked someone that question in a session, the room went completely silent for almost a full minute. That silence told me more than any bank statement could have. Financial secrets are rarely about the money. Let's go back to Dana and Mark for a second, because I think their story holds the real lesson of this whole video. When Mark finally asked Dana why she'd hidden the account, her answer wasn't, "I wanted to leave you," or "I don't trust you with money." It was quieter and honestly sadder than that. She said, "I needed one thing in this relationship that was only mine." Sit with that for a second, because that's not a financial infidelity story. That's a story about a woman who felt like every part of her life, her time, her choices, her identity had slowly become ours, and money was the last private door she had left. She wasn't protecting cash, she was protecting a piece of herself. Now, I'm not saying secret accounts are okay. They're not, and we'll get to the trust piece of this. But if you're the partner who found the hidden account, ask yourself something before you explode. What need was this actually meeting? Because if you only address the money, you'll fix the account and lose the marriage anyway. And if you're the one hiding something right now, and honestly, some of you are, I know it. Ask yourself the real question underneath it. Is this about control, about safety, about identity? Or is this genuinely about not trusting your partner with the truth? Those are very different problems with very different fixes. A conversation starter that actually works here. Instead of, "Why did you hide this from me?" try, "What were you afraid would happen if I knew?" That single reframe takes the conversation from courtroom to actual honesty, almost every time. The real divorce number nobody talks about. Here's a stat that should genuinely stop you for a second. Across the UK, Canada, and Australia, financial disagreements consistently rank among the top 2 or 3 reasons couples cite when their relationships end, right up there with infidelity and communication breakdown. And a huge portion of divorce lawyers, when surveyed, say money conflict was present in most of the cases that crossed their desk. But, and this is the part people miss, it's almost never the actual number that ends things. Nobody divorces over $300 a month in coffee spending. What ends marriages is what the spending represents. Recklessness feels like abandonment. Secrecy feels like betrayal. Control feels like being owned rather than loved. Take Sarah and Tobias, married 4 years, split at year 5. On paper, their finances were fine. 2 decent incomes, no debt crisis, nothing dramatic. But Tobias controlled every single purchase decision, right down to Sarah needing to check in before buying groceries some weeks. It wasn't about the money. It was about who got to feel like an adult in that house. Why does this matter to you? Because if you're currently in a financial disagreement with your partner and it feels bigger than the number on the receipt, that's not you overreacting. That's your nervous system correctly picking up on something emotional hiding inside a financial conversation. Here's your actionable piece. Next time a money argument starts escalating past what the actual number justifies, pause and ask out loud, is this about the money or is this about something the money represents? That question alone can de-escalate an argument faster than almost anything else I've seen. Financial intimacy is built in boring moments, not big ones. Last one. And honestly, this might be the most important thing in the whole video. Couples who actually build lasting financial trust rarely do it through one big dramatic money talk. They build it in small, almost boring, repeated moments. A 5-minute Sunday check-in, a shared laugh about a stupid impulse purchase, a "hey, heads up, I spent a bit more than usual this week" text sent before it becomes a secret instead of after it's discovered. Financial intimacy isn't an event, it's a habit, like brushing your teeth, except way less exciting and honestly, way more important to your relationship's survival. I think about a couple I'll call Aid and Kyoma, who told me their entire financial relationship changed once they started doing a 10-minute money and feelings check-in every other Sunday. Not a budget meeting, not spreadsheets, just how are you feeling about money this week? Anything stressing you out I don't know about? 2 years later, they told me they genuinely couldn't remember the last time money caused real tension between them. Not because they got richer, because they got closer. So here's your takeaway, and I want you to actually do this one. Pick a recurring 10-minute slot, weekly or bi-weekly, and ask each other exactly that question. Nothing more complicated than that. So let's bring this all the way back to where we started. Dana and Mark, the couple everyone envied because they never fought. What we've actually learned is that the absence of conflict was never the goal. Alignment was. Silence can hide exhaustion. Secrets are almost always about something deeper than the money itself. The real number that breaks couples isn't in the bank statement. It's in what the spending or the secrecy represents. And real trust isn't built in one big conversation. It's built in small, unremarkable, repeated ones. If any part of this video felt uncomfortably close to home tonight, honestly, that's not a bad sign. That's usually the sign you're finally looking at the actual relationship, instead of the version of it you've been showing everyone else, including maybe yourself. If this helped you see your own relationship a little more clearly, hit subscribe, because this channel exists entirely for conversations like this one, the ones most couples never quite manage to have out loud. And if you know a couple who could use this, honestly, just send it to them. You might be doing more for their relationship than you realize. You don't need a perfect financial system to have a strong relationship. You just need the courage to stop protecting each other from the truth and start protecting each other with it. That's it for today. Talk soon.